So hello fellow Earthlings. This is Earthling 6455463728. And I've spent a while, a couple hours today, trying to imagine what a biological AI might be like and what biological computing could potentially be like. In case you haven't seen or listened to my last piece on this, which was that I was saying that biological AIs, I think, would be far superior to what we have now, silicon AIs. To begin with, hopefully you wouldn't have to keep throwing them away and buying a new one, like in terms of a phone, I mean, if your phone actually had an AI or something like that. At the same time, it would be a lot easier to interface with a human being if we had biological AIs, as well as I think it would be a lot easier, well, it wouldn't be a lot easier, but it would be interesting and I think probably more productive if we had a biological AI, because it would be able to do parallel processing in a way that silicon AIs and computers probably wouldn't be able to, because, for example, as I was saying, we have something like 30 trillion cells in our body, all of them performing processes at the same time in parallel. And however many brain cells we might have, with how many synapses connecting to other neurons. And we seem to be doing pretty well, whereas AIs are very disappointing, and the path forward seems very disappointing, even though I have a friend who is involved in current AI, and he keeps telling me how great it will be, but that's not what I'm hearing. That is not what I'm hearing. Anyway, one of the things that I was thinking of, because a biological AI would also use a lot less power, is that we might be able to just feed our AI, kind of like pets, or feed our computers, kind of like pets, rather than plugging it into the wall. So imagine this, you'd be able to feed it whatever you were eating. So there's a certain number of calories that the AI is supposed to get every day. I don't know if it would look like a little fur ball or a gremlin or something, maybe with a screen on it, and you would just chew up some food like a mama bird, and I hate to say spit it into the AI's feeding tube and let it digest that stuff on its own. I hadn't really thought about the stuff that comes out on the other end. Don't know how that would work, or that people might want to deal with that. But that said, so many people have pets. At least half of all families have pets. Speaking of half of all families have pets, I guess there really is no real benefit to having pets. Otherwise, more than 50% of them would have it. If there was a real benefit, more than 50% of families would have it, I think. I discovered that when I was looking at trying to rent my sister's house, and that's what the statistics were, 50-50. So, but yeah, I don't know how that would work, getting rid of the stuff on the other end. You know what? I've decided it would be like a biological battery, and you'd buy them kind of like pet food or something, and you would put it into the pouch of your computer, AI, whatever thing it was, and it would have a compartment for waste to go into, and when you're done, it would just pop out. I mean, you just take the stuff out of the pouch, and that would be the end of it. That's how it's going to work. Now, if you're going to upgrade your system, let's say, we would probably use some kind of CRISPR created RNA virus to upgrade your living computer system. And over the course of several days, let's say, for example, you got an upgrade at the store, or it might come in some kind of household replicator thing that it would get the genetic sequence for the upgrade. Maybe every household would have it. The same way how they're saying that we might all have those 3D printers. Right. So we would have some kind of biological upgrade printer at our house. And every so often, it would get a message to make a new virus. And then we would pop that virus into the update port of our living computer. And then it would slowly start changing. The virus would spread throughout the organism and update the system, the genetic code, to whatever it would be. The thing about it that I was thinking was that why would we need a computer or even a PC if we could change ourselves or part of ourselves? If you knew the directions to go somewhere, let's say, for example, you could remember everything about the way to get to a new pizza place. Why would you need GPS? So if we can actually control ourselves, then we wouldn't really need a computer. Turn left at the light, turn right, you wouldn't need that. And it would be the same thing with respect to skills. It would be the same thing with respect to internet. We would just be downloading information into ourselves directly. We wouldn't need to look at a screen, If it's something that is a news story that we wanted to read, it could go straight from something that could pick up radio waves, and it could be attached to our brains via our living AI, and that's where let's say, for example, a dead system could come into play, a silicon device or radio or transmitter or something like that. The way that I was thinking of it is that, let's say, for example, parrots have really hard beaks, but in terms of what I've understood, the other end that's inside of the parrot has to be really soft, and it goes in hardness like that. I mean, it's like, I guess, the hair in our bodies or our fingernails or whatever. But my point is, there could be a continuum of change from a hard transistor system to our living computer AI to us, so that it would be kind of like a modem. It would be like a living modem kind of thing, and all that it would need to do is to be able to have like a Wi-Fi signal. So that Wi-Fi signal would be through a metallic system, because you need metals in order to transmit radio waves and receive radio waves, and you need that kind of electrical signal. But at the same time, once that is transmitted to neurological impulses in the device, that could be connected to our brains directly, in which case we would not need a computer, a cell phone, a smartphone to look at the screen. We could be looking at the screen in our heads without having to look down at the screen of the thing, and that way, I feel that would be pretty interesting. That seems like it would be really interesting. And one of the benefits of doing that, as I was, saying in the last piece, was that it would allow us to dispense with the dirty process of making computers and cell phones. And in addition to that, I think it would be much more efficient to have this living system. Right now, we have to dig for oil in order to have the energy that is making CO2 emissions, in order to power our electrical devices that are radically inefficient compared to a human being. What does a human being need? A human being needs 120 calories, 2,000 calories, let's say, on average a day. 2,000 calories with respect to, I really do have to look it up, but I think that it's probably, I really have to look it up, but I think our phone probably uses more energy than that in a day. A computer definitely uses more energy than that in a day. I really have to look that up. But part of the reason that we are heating up the planet is because a lot of these devices use so much energy. To create them uses so much energy. I think we're woefully inefficient. A car needs a whole lot of energy in order to travel at the speeds that we want it to, and we really, most of the time, we don't want to travel. We don't want to move a 2,000-pound object this way and that way and then park it up for however long. And Elon Musk and self-driving cars and these other things can help, but still, I think that there's a way to make our whole existence a lot less energy intensive. And I think this is a particular way we can do that. And I think that this is something, I don't see Silicon AI really being able to do the things that we want them to be able to do. We want to be able to interface with them. Who is going to stick a bunch of wires into their brain, and after a while, I'm sure those wires are either going to get corroded, they might get shifted out of place, they're going to be touching the wrong cells, they might get pulled out. It is so much better to interface with something that is living, that's us, than to try to, bolt a metal device to the side of our heads. Well, I guess no. As far as I know, those cochlear implants are actually implanted, and then they have a device that transmits something. Oh, I think there's an electrical power outlet. I don't remember how it works, but I really think that we should try and get on that boat. And I think what I want to talk about next time is maybe how is it that we can communicate with, let's say we're starting off with yeast and we want to make a yeast computer. How is it that we're going to be able to communicate with these yeast to teach them the things that they know in order to be a computer? So anyway, guys, I know this is probably pretty crazy and nobody's going to listen to it. But anyway, you can wish me luck. So you can like or unlike. You can comment, subscribe, and or share. And of course, you can do nothing. Peace.